fashion, man. Hit the subscribe button. So, X, let's jump right into this shit about some new topics going on around. And just the current stages of fashion, and I've been seeing a lot of separation, we should say, between streetwear and high end. Do you think there's a particular reason for that? Because I've noticed, brands are using less of the graphic looks, and the high ends are going towards more like, traditional luxury looks, whether it be materials of high quality. You might get a small logo or like an emblem made of like gold or something like that. It's no longer kind of try to blend the lines of streetwear and fashion and high end fashion together.
Honestly, I think the high end brand needs to stick to producing streetwear looks. So, like, not that they don't, they do, but not as how I when I grown up seeing all of these brands like True Religion, for example. I don't know if there's still a thing. I don't know if there's still around. Like certain brands I grew up with, I don't see them like that anymore. You understand? So it's like, and then even Fubu, for example, because Fubu was a big thing back in the day. I know they're trying to make a comeback. So I'm like, but what happened? But with a luxury brand, to be honest with you, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not a luxury person per se. Like, if I have a luxury item in my closet, then I have it. But I won't be the one to jump and run to go spend $1,000 and some luxury brand to get a shirt or whatever the case may be. But I must say, because I shoot for a few luxury brand, and the quality of their streetwear, I can get that on Shein. Ain't gonna lie. So I would not pay the price that they're selling for if I can get the same thing on cheap minus their logo. I even Canada. Don't get me wrong. Canada Street is a thing.
Listen, I know fast fashion is here, but I think it being the fact that it moves so fast, I think high end wins because you spend on more statement pieces. So there's no fast aspect of it. Because if I pull out a jacket 5 years from now, if I spend $1,200, that shit better have the same effect as day one. I'll tell you
And I
that.
think they have influence and certain brands when it
It's
comes down to like
Louis Vuitton,
because
like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
because I have a bag where they're like everything I'm to the bag, just bring it back to the store, and we got it. I'm like, we got it. I'm like, what the hell? So that's actually like a good thing to have like insurance on your bag, which without you even paying for it, but probably pay whenever you purchase it, whatever the case of you. So
yeah,
I say I'm not against high fashion. I love high fashion. I love see a good high fashion clothes. But my thing is, but it's not everyday wear. Most of
yeah,
this stuff is not everyday wear, and I want to have something where I don't want to wear it one time, and because I got photographed in it by Getty, I don't want to wear it again.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
understand? So
So,
yeah.
so you got brands like you familiar with Denim Tears with the like
No.
the flowers that be all over it. So that was a brand made by a guy named Tremaine Emery. He used to work with Kanye and a plethora of different brands, but it was kind of oversaturated to the point where a lot of people are like making fakes of it and all of that. So now he rolled out his second version of it, and now he kind of blending his brand with Marc Jacob, another brand, Saint Michael, and it's kind of giving like streetwear leaning on luxury. So it's kind of the reverse way, where luxury was kind of leaning on streetwear. Do you think there's a lane for that, and is taken the same by people who are lovers of luxury brands?
No, honestly, I'm not gonna say there's a lane for it because at the end of the day, there's a market for everybody.
Hmm.
There's your market for everybody because at the end of the day, if you can have a street, because I know people who design streetwear per se, but it comes off as a luxury type of thing. I would go and buy that to be honest with you, because number one, it's considered. I'm going to use Telefar as an example.
Yeah,
Telefar is to some people is like a luxury bag. You understand? Even though the bag is not expensive, because the smallest one is like 150. You
yeah.
understand? And for me, I would jump to the point where I was buying Telefar bag every time they drop the bag. That's how much I was buying the bag because it comes off as luxury, even though the leather is not real leather, but it comes off as luxury, and it was inexpensive.
And it was black owned, so the message was there.
And it was black. So I supported these people. So it's like at the end of the day, is everybody have a lane? Yes, everybody has a lane. Can I jump in your lane sometime and come out? Of course I can. We do it all the time when we're driving. You're in the fast lane, you go over to the slow lane. You're in the slow lane, go over to the fast lane. So therefore, you can always dibble and dabble.
Hmm.
It's fashion. Fashion is meant for everybody. You can be creative, and please note the style you're wearing. You may not be the one who designed it. There's people designed before you. You're just creating that same design in your own creative, like your own vision, but
Additional,
it still resemble an
yeah,
ex design.
absolutely. So now there's another brand. I don't know how you Jack Lewis. It's
Oh yeah, he wrote me out of his casting one. He was like, "Oh, we don't want no EMG models here." I'm like, "I
oh
understand."
Lord,
I didn't know he was even that big then.
yeah. That brand is kind of giving the feel of a New York love, like the aesthetics that they're going for. Because right now, that old money aesthetic is the thing right now. It's kind of like business casual. I'm a trust fund baby, but I drink, my coffee in the morning and with my green shake and it kind of gives that element, but they're leaning on New York, which is New York we know as the fashion hub, where
Yeah,
diversity really is changed by fashion through us. Being that we have different weather, we have different cultures that's in the fashion, but I just think that they've been doing a decent job at giving the diversity look
let
to.
me put this way, Richie, because at the end of the day, what he's doing, he's not the first. He's not the first
Yeah,
who was done. Let's start here. Number one, as I said, I respect his looks. I like his design. He kind of remind me of Balenciaga. He probably, if he see this video, he probably get pissed, but he reminds me of Balenciaga just because of his aesthetic of how he present himself and how the clothes is sometimes. However, the only thing I don't like with the fashion world is too politics
mm,
because he's doing something that somebody has tried to do, but because they don't have the money, they don't have the not to say the money, they don't have the connections.
yeah,
You understand? So without the connections, they're not able to go to the level where he's at, where they can go to the Met Gala, he can dress a Cardi B or a Beyonce. Like I just think like what they need to do is like give everybody opportunity. Because I love his look. I'm not bashing his look at all. I love his design. I went to audition for him to walk for his show. I love everything about him.
chase your
But
ass up.
however, he did keep my ass up, but he has a dirty. For me, I can speak because I've met him more than once. He has
Yeah,
a dirty personality. Like for me, I would check him and tell him to go whatever with his mother and his sister and his friend
sheesh.
and walk away. Because to me, you're showing on camera as like, oh yeah, man, so thankful, I'm so happy. But in reality, you're just this nasty ass bitch. Point
Mm,
blank period. You understand? And that to me is hypocritical. And then also to add insult to injury, when it comes on to getting someone in the fashion world, whether you're a model, designer, agent, it's all about who you know. Because I've seen people pick other models, for example, for a fashion show,
yeah,
only because I'm friends with the agent or I'm friends with somebody.
yeah.
So it's
That's
like they don't give other agents a chance, they don't give other models a chance, and they don't give other designers a chance. Because I've seen designers who can, like when I said I see designers who can design them to the T, and most of these were from the Caribbean. They don't have that chance that he got because one, they don't have the proper connections, and even they know who to reach out to, they are ignored.
yeah.
You understand?
The
And
doors
then
aren't open. The doors aren't really open for those. That's crazy, man.
yeah, so for them, he's in a lane where it's easy for him because he got the money and he got whatever. So yeah.
So last on the docket, right? Ralph Lauren. So Ralph Lauren been bringing out renditions of the Yankee kind of collection that they had going on, and I think they just announced that they finally this creative director, they hired a black man for the first time. I can't remember his name, but he did go to HBCU, and
Let me
I
just
guess they trying to change, the direction of things up there. Me personally, I seen the Yankee collection, and it's typical basic Ralph, but with a New York flair to it. What's your thoughts on Ralph in the space, and could this, this interjection of black culture really do anything different?
I'm going to say this, and because I just did something for Lavrance like a week ago. I was on, they had like a panel discussion
Mhm.
as about LGBT and immigration and immigrants in the country. And I was on their panel speaking to their internal team. So
Yeah,
I'm going to bash them, but I won't bash them too much because I'm also getting some free stuff from them.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure what I'm getting yet. So I'm
No,
waiting for it to
don't
come in
do
the
it
mail.
then. Don't do it then. Don't do, get the bag
I'm
first.
gonna, no, no, but what I'm going to say is though, Ralph Lauren is a household name brand since I was a kid.
Yeah,
I know what Ralph Lauren was. I didn't know who he was, but I know what he was until I get older. I know who he is. Um, Has his design aesthetic changed over the period of time? Yes and no. Because I can still see something and say that's a Ralph Lauren clothes or whatever the case may be. For the fact that, and what you said makes sense because of course they reach out to a black LGBT somebody would, and they reach out to me because of course I did something for ABC News and they saw the article and they find a way to mention everything.
Yeah.
Um, but I must say though, by just talking to the a few people in the Ralph Lauren company who does different things. I'm not gonna bash Ralph Lauren because I respect what he's doing. Besides designing, what people don't understand that he does more for the community than just what people think. He has a whole pride section in this company dedicated to educate people about the LGBT and everything else. Other company don't have that. So besides educating about pride, they have also cultural awareness. So what he's doing, he's giving opportunities to people who, to me, if you have a black creative director right now, he's giving opportunity to somebody to shine. Understand? And I respect that. But if I didn't know what I know, how is it? If I didn't know what I know then or something, whatever the saying goes, I would bash it. But because I learned how he really operates, I respect him properly the way he operates because he, based on my perspective and what I've gathered by just communicating with him for the past 2 months, he's a really like the company or what the company stands for is a lot more than what people think. It's not just design. They're literally there to support every